Good morning, everyone, on this beautiful Friday, November 11th episode of Mornings on Main Street. A little wet out there, but that's okay. I hope your commute is going well. You're looking live at downtown Nashville. You see Bridgestone Arena right there. You see some cars starting to get pulled into their day as you get ready to start your day as well. We really appreciate you starting your day here with us on Main Street Media Television. Joined, of course, as always, by our producer, Justin Kulik. Justin, how you doing this morning?
Hey, Zach, how's it going, boss man?
It's going good. It's going good. You don't have to call me boss man. It feels a little bit too much. I'm just guest hosting for today in the next week, and then your actual boss man will be back in studio.
Oh, okay. Well, what should I call you then, sir?
You could just call me Zach. You could just call me Zach.
Your first name?
Yeah, a lot of people call me by my last name instead, Womble, which is acceptable as well. But don't feel comfortable taking the title as boss man because he of course is out. I hope everything is going well with Chris and his family. I don't know that
New baby.
Okay, so
Yep.
I wasn't sure. We didn't talk pre-production,
Right.
If I was allowed to divulge into that.
Well, I haven't talked to him directly about the disclosure of the information, but Mo did say it on the show about 5 times yesterday, so I just
Gotcha.
assume it's okay.
Gotcha. Well, I hope Chris and his wife are doing well. New baby doing well. So wish them all the best today and the next week as they welcome in a new joy to their life. Justin, like I said, we were looking at the traffic here on Broadway. Can we jump to our traffic cam that we've got stored up? Talk to the people about what's going on in their neck of the woods.
Absolutely. Oh, hello, everybody. 1 second. There it is.
Caught you by surprise a little bit there, Justin, putting the camera on you. But you see there, right there, on time traffic look as Justin peels right into Nashville, Tennessee. Where are we going first, Justin? Right.
So we're this is around the Fessler's lane on I-40, I-24. Seems like there's a little bit of merging traffic as always. But if you take this route, you're no stranger to this. Am I right?
I mean, no, I don't think anybody in Nashville is no stranger to traffic.
Right.
Seems like, I live up in Hendersonville, right next to the 386 bypass, and it's always backed up in the morning to get on 65. So traffic is always pretty tough here in Nashville, and especially this morning with it wet out there. So hopefully you've made your commute already and you've got in safely and soundly across there as rain came in last night pretty heavily. It was raining pretty hard up until I left for the studio this morning here in Nashville. It was coming down pretty good. So hopefully the rain will let up as the day moves along and makes that commute a little bit better. As you look in on I-40 westbound at Jefferson Street, traffic moving along pretty nice right now as lanes are pretty clear. So want to jump back over here to me when we're done with this look at traffic, and we're going to jump into weather. As I mentioned, Justin, it was pretty wet this morning, but it looks like it's dried up a little bit. I'm looking outside our studio right now. Rain does not look like it's fallen at the moment, but again, it got our neck of the woods in North Nashville pretty good, and I know it got downtown pretty good as well. I know you experienced some rain east of town in Lebanon. So, but again, it's pretty dry out there right now. I think it's going to stay dry for the rest of the day. But this kind of kicks off what's going to be a kind of a chilly, mild next 10 days for us here in Nashville as we get ready to finally transition into that winter season. I mean, it's November 11th and it was 75 degrees outside yesterday. So today's weather, rain, kind of cooling it down a little bit, getting us prepared for that winter season. I don't believe it's supposed to get up in the 60s next week, Justin, and maybe we might even get into some freezing temperatures overnight as well. And so, yeah,
I'm not down for that, Zach.
You don't like winter. The winter's not your favorite holiday.
So I have my apparel.
Yeah,
is all like it's geared towards winter stuff. Like I have,
sure.
People would say it's probably fly.
Yeah.
I don't know if, anyways.
I would agree with that.
Yeah. So that's why I like winter, but I'm not a huge fan of, I'm okay if it's cold and dry. If it's cold and dry, that's cool. If it's cold and wet, not a fan. And the fact that sleet exists is just the worst.
Yeah. Amen. Yeah. If it's going to be cold and rainy, just be cold enough to make it snow. Right.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Just make it snow. There's nothing worse than like a 35-degree day and a good downpour, or even really just like a sprinkle,
right? Any precipitation
where you have to turn on your defrost to where just hot enough to where it's not too hot, but
exactly.
10 minutes down the road, you're sweating because it's like, why am I doing this? But if you turn it off, roll the window down, it becomes a mess. So
right.
I agree. I agree with you there. If it's going to get cold enough, at least give us some of that white powder on the ground to play in.
Right. I agree. Couldn't agree more.
So Justin, before we do anything today, it is obviously Veterans Day today. And so we want to give a shout out to the veterans. A couple things going on here in Nashville that's really cool. I hope you get out and do that. Don't let the weather deter you. We've got in Laverne, we've got the Veterans Day ceremony. I think beginning from 11 to 5 today. So here starting soon, 11 to 5, the Veterans Day ceremony in Laverne. And then you've got also the Music City Ruck March at Nissan Stadium starting in a couple hours as well. So a couple different opportunities to honor some veterans here in Nashville. And again, want to say thank you to the veterans who have served. And listen, my grandfather particularly, he served the United States Army military in Vietnam. So I want to say thank you to him and to everyone who has served. I mean, to go out there and to lay down the ultimate sacrifice, to have unselfishness for people that you may never meet in your life, but just to do it for the goodness of our country, to give us the opportunity that we have to sit in front of you, to do a show like this, to play games, all thanks to you. So just know that when we go out there, maybe on Friday nights or before home games, on sporting events, when we sing that national anthem, we have you in mind, and we want to say thank you for all that you do. And speaking of thanks, we've got our own Chris Kulik, known on Spotify as Chris Loiter, who is our new media developer. He actually wrote a song for the veterans called Ask Him About the War. You can find him on Spotify. And I want to listen to that this morning. So Justin, if you got it queued up, let's hear Ask Him About the War by our own Chris Kulik on Spotify.
Let's do it.
He sometimes forgets where he puts his shoes and has a hard time getting round. Lately he seems more like a child than the man who built this house. When he goes over to that dresser drawer, opens the box hidden down inside, his eyes light up, they come alive again. Ask him about the war. Ask him about the war. He'll pin his medals on, point to his purple heart. He was ambushed in the dark. He put on his beret, salute the fallen boys who stayed. Then his mind fades away when you ask him about the war. Sometimes he writes letters and dates them 1945. Hello, babe, I'll be home soon. Thank God I'm still alive. There's still a soldier within the man, and he still fights today. a battle he has never lost. But I'm afraid this one he may. Ask him about the war. He'll pin his medals on, point to his purple heart. He was ambushed in the dark. He put on his beret, salute the fallen boys who stayed. Then his mind fades away. When you ask him about the war, his mind fades away. When you ask him about the war, his mind fades away.
What a beautiful song by Chris Loiter, aka Chris Kulik. Find him on Spotify. Again, ask him about the war. Thank you again to all those who have served our country. Happy Veterans Day to you. When we come back, we'll get into Devin's Table. We've also got guests coming up to talk about the Nashville Half Marathon. So don't go anywhere. This is Mornings on Main Street, presented by Main Street Media Television.
When you're thinking about golf, consider Riverside Golf Links. Under new ownership, the course has improved dramatically. It's now 27 holes, complemented by a 9-hole executive course. Book a tee time now at 615-847-5074 and get ready to enjoy the beauty of golf in the Old Hickory area at Riverside Golf Links. Hey, this is George Plaster, and I'm excited to announce that the second annual Plaster and Friends Celebrity Bowling Night is going to happen Monday, November the 28th at the Hermitage Strike and Spare. The 3 charities that will benefit are Last Minute Toy Store, Martha O'Brien Center, and Stars. And our intention is to get them that money so it can do the most amount of good at Christmas time. Now, here's where I need your help. I need you to sign up to play in the most fun charity event you've ever been involved in. Imagine 64 foursomes with 64 sports personalities in the area. As a single player, it's $200. If you get a foursome, it's $800. And what I want you to do is reach out to me via email, plastergeorge@gmail.com, and we'll get you signed up and get you ready and raring to go. Again, that's plastergeorge@gmail.com for a night you will never forget.
For Dustin Timmons and Joey Donnelly, they welcome every opportunity to serve and satisfy their clients. Whether you are looking to build your dream home or renovate your current home, their team will ensure that every client and remodel is unique, luxurious, completed on time, and within budget. Contact them today to set an appointment for a free consultation or to view some of their completed projects by logging on to DonnellyTimmons.com.
At Sumner Funeral and Cremation, our mission is to serve families as our own, celebrate the life of their loved one, and help begin the healing process.
My whole family, including my wife and my mom and siblings, were very happy with the treatment that we received. I would highly recommend Sumner Funeral and Cremation.
We offer funeral, burial, cremations, and pre-planning services.
Sumner Funeral and Cremation. Traditional, affordable, dignified. SumnerFuneral.com.
I'm Bart Durham.
I was sworn in as a lawyer in 1963, and I've been working as a lawyer since then.
We're a firm that does exclusively
personal injury, a lot of tractor trailer crashes. Insurance companies will open up their checkbooks when you force them to.
We have systems that work.
We get the most money for our clients in the shortest amount of time.
I'm Blair Durham. My dad and I want to help. Give us a call at 615-242-9000.
We have got a glorious spread here, and we want to welcome here to the Omni, where we are live. We are going to welcome Chef Philip Baldwin from Bar Lines, coming down the Buddy Allen Carpet One.
Oh, yeah.
Teal Carpet, oh love.
Good to see you. Thank you. And this is literally just out of this is piping hot.
Yep,
it looks
just made it.
fantastic.
It smelled, I mean, if this were smell-o-vision, oh my gosh, it would be an explosion. This is so good. Tell us what we have today.
I brought our two biggest sellers, which is our hot wings. I did the honey sriracha wings, which is always one of our fan favorites. The double stack burger is one of our originals. It's been on the menu since day one. And I brought a couple of our big sellers off the new menu. It's the Nashville hot hummus. We wanted to try.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we wanted to do something a little different. And we decided, we got everybody in Nashville doing hot chicken, so let's leave the hot chicken to the guys that do hot chicken. And we're gonna, give some, that same flavor as a vegan or a vegetarian option. So,
I know for the vegan visitors to Nashville, we have something.
We want everybody to have the same experience here in Nashville. And then we did the chicken jam ban. It's smoked Gouda, house-made white wine, blueberry jam, lettuce, tomato, arugula, and sweet and spicy pickles on top. It's one of the biggest sellers we have right now.
That is, if you have a pretty good appetite.
Yeah,
You're gonna tackle that.
That's what it's meant for.
What's the crust? What's it crusted in? What's the
we do our own little chicken breader. We just take AP flour, season it up with a lot of spices and a little love here and there, and that's how we fry it off.
It's always about the love, isn't it?
That's what it is. It's always about the love.
And I love it. One thing I love is that you have upscale, accessible food in Bar Lines. I love it.
Absolutely.
You do something. There's a delicious thing that you did that I swear to you, it's like hot franks or something.
Yeah, that's our. It's a smoked hot dog burn ends. So we take the honey sriracha that we put on the wings there, and we toss it in with some barbecue sauce, and then I take hot dogs, Nathan's all beef hot dogs. I smoke them off for about 2.5 hours. Get that rich smoke flavor in there. Toss it in the barbecue sauce, a little crema. Done.
The double patty burger? Look, Nashville has a lot of places that do burgers. What makes a good burger?
It's the cut of meat. That's 100% what it comes down to. We use ribeye, short rib, and a little prime rib.
That's it?
Short rib, prime rib, and filet. And that's our three mixes, and we have it custom ground for us, and we have it come in. And it's all about the patty. It's all about what kind of meat you use. Instead of just using regular chuck, it kind of gets dry. So it's the fat content that you're looking for.
And two, here at the Omni, you use a lot of local. You source local when you can.
As much as we physically can. So we use a lot of our produce locally, but with the winter season coming up, we have to use other areas. But there's a lot of people now here in Nashville that are doing hothouse. So we're getting a lot of hothouse tomatoes, heirlooms in from locally sourced here. All our carrots and celery locally sourced. So we tried to do our very best to make sure that we give the best of Nashville to Nashville and everybody who comes to Nashville.
That's great. Chef Philip, where did you get your start as a chef?
Oh, wow. So I didn't know what I wanted to do when I was in high school. I couldn't figure it out for the life of me. Got out of high school. I started cooking, fast food, pizza. And no, I didn't like that. So I had a chef friend, a buddy of mine. His name's Christopher Walsh. He's on the West Coast now. And he told me, he's like, hey, this chef I know, he's looking for cooks. Why don't you give it a try? And I was like, okay. So he put me on as a pastry chef. Never cooked pastries a day in my life. And I told him that. I was like, I don't know how to do pastry. And he pointed to a bookshelf full of cookbooks. He said, pick one that's desserts, do some research, and make me 3 desserts for, service tonight. And I was like, okay. So I did a chocolate creme brulee, a berry tart, and I think it was banana pudding.
Can't go wrong with banana pudding. There you go.
Not in Tennessee. No. And I did that, and unfortunately that restaurant, went under, as most do. And he got me a stage with Charlie Trotter in Chicago. And that's what really started my passion for cooking. Working with Charlie was an amazing experience. He was very meticulous. He was super meticulous. So when we were doing things, it's either you do it right or you don't do it at all. So that's where I got it from. Everything I do, it's testing and testing and testing, and I'm not going to put it out until I know it's perfect.
So what's the tone in the kitchen? Is it fun loving? Is it fun but get it done? Or I mean, what would your employees say about you?
Or you were the mean guy from Ratatouille. I mean, what are you?
Never. No. I take a different approach in the kitchen. The way I look at it is when my guys are smiling, laughing, and cutting up, the guests are going to get a better experience. They're going to get the food right the first time. We don't have to recook food. So it's all about having a pleasant attitude and really making a fun environment. And that's, one of the things about Omni that I love is the culture here.
Oh yeah.
They built a great culture. So it's when you come into a place that's already built a great culture, it's kind of easy to keep it up. So that's how we.
So don't mess it up. Is
no,
what you're saying. Okay.
That's my biggest fear, is messing it up.
I just looked at you carrying this conversation on with those bat ears.
Very mature. I know. Oh, do I have something on my? I didn't know that.
Oh my gosh! Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for your efforts. This will not go to waste. We've got a crew here that they want this to be a 15-minute show. Do you know that? The other guests, they want to already get into it.
We want the food. Hey, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you guys for having me.
Bar Lines, Bob's Steakhouse, Kitchen Notes, and the Bongo Java Coffee Spot. I mean, there's no shortage of great food at the Omni. Be a tourist in your own hometown and eat local. Eat here at the Omni.
That was a great little segment by Devin. That's the first time seeing that Taste of Nashville. I really enjoyed that. We're back on Mornings on Main Street just after the 20-minute hour and the 10 o'clock, or 20 minutes after 10 here on Mornings on Main Street on Main Street Media Television. We have got a fun interview lined up for you. Justin, let's go ahead and bring him in. We've got Chris Bowles racing. Chris Bowles is the Director of Development for the American Cancer Society Determination Team. He has been running marathons and triathlons for more than 20 years and has raised more than $125,000 for the American Cancer Society over the last 12 years. It's been a great way to make his miles more meaningful by raising vital funds to support cancer research and patient support programs. Chris, thanks so much for joining us today.
Good morning, everybody. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Chris, tell us a little bit more about, who you are and the Nashville Half Marathon tomorrow running, starting at 7 a.m. Just tell us a little bit more about that, how you got into running and why, I guess, being the Director of Development for the American Cancer Society is so important to you.
Well, listen, thanks again for the invitation. We're really excited this weekend. This is the first year that the American Cancer Society has partnered with the Run Nash Marathon Half Marathon weekend. We've got a little more than 40 runners and walkers who are raising more than $30,000 for the American Cancer Society this weekend that are participating in the 5K, the half marathon, the full marathon. And we're just excited to bring our determination team down to Nashville. This is actually my first time down here personally. It's been wonderful spending a few days around, and we're just looking forward to cheering on a little more than 3,000 walkers and runners tomorrow morning through the streets of Nashville.
Absolutely. It's going to be a lot of fun. Chris, I am very curious because, obviously cancer is a disease that affects so many people. Clearly, it means a whole lot to you. What got you involved? What really got your feet wet with this program?
So I started with our American Cancer Society determination team about 12 years ago. I had previously been a fundraising participant for another cancer organization. And as you said, everybody's been touched by cancer in one way or another. And I just felt like it was the right thing to do when I was doing my very first triathlon to raise money to support cancer research. And along the way, I have met just countless individuals who have been touched by cancer in so many different ways, whether it's personally or through their family or through their friends. Cancer impacts everybody. It doesn't discriminate. It impacts everybody, as I've said numerous times. And unfortunately, I've lost 2 of my uncles this year to cancer. And they were, one of which had been running the Chicago Marathon, which is where I'm from. When it first started, more than 40 years ago. I got started running just as a way to be healthy and to try to lose weight back in high school. And I just kind of kept challenging myself. And that's what I love about the endurance space, is that there's all these different races where you meet people who say, I'm just going to do a 5K. That's all I want to do. I'm never going to do a marathon. Then they do the 5K and they're like, all right, I did a 5K. Let me try to do the 10K. It's like, well, if I've done the 10K, now I'll do the half, but I'm still not doing the full. And then they do the half marathon and they're like, okay, I think I'm ready to do the full marathon. And you're constantly just challenging yourself. And when you're doing something like that, dedicating so many hours and months training, I personally believe you got to be doing it for something greater than yourself. And that's where our American Cancer Society Determination Team trains thousands of people every single year for races all over the world. We've got cycling events, we've got hiking events, we've got marathons, we've got all sorts of distances. We've got people climbing Mount Kilimanjaro. We've got people running the New York City Marathon. About 250 runners just ran the New York City Marathon. We had more than 600 runners run the Chicago Marathon. And we're just really excited to be here in Nashville. The first year, we've got a little more than 40 runners involved, and we're excited to grow that every single year. We want this to be one of the perennial events for our determination team in next year. So we hope to see you and your friends running in our determination blue and red and such like that next year.
Absolutely. I got some information this morning that maybe we would have another guest, Linda Courtney, available. Is Linda available as well to jump in?
I'm not sure. I know we sent her the invite, and I'm actually at the expo right now at Nissan Stadium. And so Linda and I are not together.
Gotcha.
But Linda is just one of 40 passionate, runners and walkers who are hitting the streets tomorrow and raising vital funds to support the American Cancer Society. We're grateful for their support, not only all the training that they put in the weeks and months leading up to this event, but reaching out to their friends and family for vital donations to help us continue our mission to raise more money for cancer research, raise more money to support patient programs and services. So everybody, once, if you ever know somebody who's been diagnosed with cancer, I can't stress this enough, please don't hesitate to reach out to our Cancer Information Center. It's 1-800-227-2345, or just go to cancer.org. It's available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It doesn't matter. Anytime you can go there and you can talk to somebody who can help you through a diagnosis, or if you have a friend who's been diagnosed and you're just looking for ways to help. You may not have all the questions at the time, but those people there are just amazing in terms of trying to just make sure that they help you through your cancer journey, because every journey is different and unique. And we just want to make sure we are there to support our patients and our caregivers throughout their entire journey.
It's so important, Chris. You mentioned how tough it is to go through that journey, to walk that journey, and for patients to know that they're not alone and to have a team with them, I think is so vitally important. You mentioned we talk about the Lindas of the world who, stage 4 colon cancer fighter. She's a wife, she's a mom, has 2 kids. I mean, these things do not take a rest. They're still prevalent. And to have a team like you to support these people, I think is really important. So thank you for doing that.
No problem. I mean, it goes beyond just the treatment in itself. I've got a very, very dear friend, 2 of them who are still, they were diagnosed at a very young age as young adults, with cancer. And it's a lot of things that you don't think about when going through cancer that, like, I try to, meet up with them, and they can't commit to a lot of things further out because they don't know what their treatment schedule is going to be like. They don't know if they're going to have to go back in for more treatment or for another follow-up appointment. And it's little things like that I've learned along the way that I had to stop and just realize, like, they can't really make a lot of plans more than 2 or 3 months out. And that's something like I want to change. And that's why we continue to raise funds so we can end cancer as we know it. We really want to make this a treatable disease that we can catch it early. This has been a big thing that we've been announcing more and more and promoting since during the pandemic. A lot of people were not going in for their annual screenings. And we cannot stress the importance enough. We know how serious COVID was, and that, going into a hospital and such may not have been the best thing to do during the pandemic, but a lot of people miss their regular, their screenings. I just went in for my first colonoscopy. Please make sure you are following up with your doctor and you're going in for your cancer screenings, finding out the screenings you should be getting at your age and depending upon your family history. Please go get screened early, because if we can catch cancer early, we have so much of a better chance of fighting it and treating it and making it more manageable.
Amen. I think a lot of people, when they look at marathons, maybe maybe it's daunting to them, but when you look across the field and you've got the Lindas of the world running the half marathon with what she has, it probably makes getting out there a little bit easier. Chris, I'm curious, the mentality part of running a marathon. There's a lot of people that say, if you run a half marathon, you're only half crazy, not full crazy. I guess what does it take mentally to get through that and to run a marathon?
It's something that anybody can do. And again, I referenced the Chicago Marathon only because that's the one I'm most experienced with. And if you're doing a training plan for any race, a marathon training plan will typically be around 16 to 18 weeks or so, depending upon your physical background. But at the start of marathon training, so a full 16 or 18 weeks out, you typically just need to be comfortable running or walking a 10K distance inside of the time allotment, which is normally around 15 minutes per mile. If you're comfortable doing a 10K at that point in time, the coaches or the training programs that are near you can typically get you ready at the start line. And my very first marathon, it was about 5 hours and 15 minutes. I was not breaking any, land speed records there. But, the more that you train, the more that you learn and you get better at it, you get faster at it. And so I just encourage you, people, if they're thinking about it, just give it a try. Having the courage to start is immense. And, you can go to great local running stores here. They've got like Fleet Feet Nashville, which typically have tremendous staff and running groups that you can be a part of. So you don't have to do it by yourself. I love training with my friends. We suffer in groups. We figure if we're going to have to run 6 or 7 miles, it's better to suffer with friends than to suffer alone. From a mental standpoint, you just have to constantly think about, just try to be present in the mile that you're at. You're not going to be able to run, the 26th mile from the very beginning. So you just got to focus. I'm at mile 1 and then I'm at mile 2 and just one step, left, right, repeat. And, whatever you need to think about to keep yourself occupied. I love to listen to music. Some people like listening to podcasts. Some people, they just like chatting with their friends. I'm not a big talker though when I run.
That's a good motto to live by. Left foot, right foot, breathe. Chris, thank you so much for all that you do as the Director of Development for the American Cancer Society Determination Team. The Nashville Half Marathon tomorrow, beginning at 7 a.m. Chris, before we let you go, please let people know once again how they can help you or how they can get in touch.
Perfect. I mean, listen, if you're looking for something to do tomorrow morning, join us. I'm going to be at one of the aid stations. We've got about 3,000 runners and walkers that are going to need some water. We'll be on de Montbriand. You don't want to know how I've been pronouncing that street from Chicago. It was not correct, but we'll be on de Montbriand between 9th and 10th Avenue from about 6 to 9 a.m. tomorrow. Come on by, help us pass out some water to some friends and meet some new friends. Cheer some folks on. We want to be loud for them and to make them feel as special as they are for taking on this challenge and the journey that they're going to have. And if you'd like to get more involved, please visit cancer.org/determination. You'll see a full list. Again, we've got about 70 different events, bike rides, hiking events, running events of all distances. Cancer.org/determination. You can find an event near you or something that you've been looking to do for perhaps quite a while. Again, if you know of anybody who's been touched by cancer and you're looking for a way to support them, visit cancer.org, or you can always call 1-800-227-2345. Our Cancer Information Center is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Please utilize it, share it with friends, add it to your phone, because it can be a really big help in a very dark hour for a lot of people.
Amen. A great way to spend your Saturday morning. Chris, if no one's told you, man, thank you so much for what you do in this realm, in this life for this, because it is important, and I know it is greatly appreciated. Chris, best of luck tomorrow, and I hope we get a great turnout for everybody to support these runners in the Nashville Half Marathon.
All right. Good luck. Thanks again for inviting me. Appreciate it. You have a good day.
You bet. Thank you, Chris. That was Chris Bowles with the American Cancer Society, director of the Determination Team. Really cool what he and his team do for the American Cancer Society. We are going to jump into a quick break, but when we do, we're going to do a little bit of fun celebrity birthdays this day in entertainment. So don't go anywhere. This is Mornings on Main Street, presented by Main Street Media Television.
Hey, this is George Plaster, and I'm excited to announce that the second annual Plaster and Friends Celebrity Bowling Night is going to happen Monday, November the 28th at the Hermitage Strike and Spare. The three charities that will benefit are Last Minute Toy Store, Martha O'Brien Center, and Stars. And our intention is to get them that money so it can do the most amount of good at Christmas time. Now, here's where I need your help. I need you to sign up to play in the most fun charity event you've ever been involved in. Imagine 64 foursomes with 64 sports personalities in the area. As a single player, it's $200. If you get a foursome, it's $800. And what I want you to do is reach out to me via email, plastergeorge@gmail.com, and we'll get you signed up and get you ready and raring to go. Again, that's plastergeorge@gmail.com for a night you will never forget.
This is attorney Bart Durham, and this is me. I'm Aaliyah. Keeping in good physical condition is really important to me. But when I had a wreck with the tractor trailer truck that hurt my legs so bad I couldn't work for almost a year, I knew I needed a lawyer that understood tractor trailer cases. So I called Bart. Bart gets millions of dollars for his clients every year.
At Bart Durham Injury Law, we've handled hundreds of tractor trailer cases.
My dad and I want to help. Give us a call at 615-242-9000.
This holiday season, the largest lantern event in the country returns to Nashville Zoo. See more than 1,000 Chinese lanterns. Welcome back to Zoo Illumination at Nashville Zoo. Bigger, brighter, and better than ever.
Hit After Hit has become the baseball store in Tennessee. They have over 1,000 different models of gloves and over 1,500 wood bats. They also have several Iron Mike pitching machines as well as a Hit Tracks machine. If they don't have it, you probably don't need it. We're proud to call Hit After Hit the official shirt provider of the Plaster and Friends Celebrity Bowling Night.
Christmas for Kids is back at the Ryman this November 21st. Christmas for Kids provides children with shopping sprees, coats, and unforgettable experiences every year. This annual fundraising concert helps bring that experience to more kids. This year is hosted by Phil Vassar and includes Chris Young. The frontmen, which is Richie McDonald, formerly of Lone Star, Larry Stewart of Restless Heart, Tim Rushlow, formerly of Little Texas, Essex County, and a whole lot more. Christmas for Kids, November 21st. To purchase tickets, go right now to Ryman.com.
When I made the decision to host the Plaster and Friends Celebrity Bowling Night, Strike and Spare is where I turned. And what a wise decision that turned out to be. They have 5 locations in our area with family attractions. They're perfect for birthdays, groups and corporate outings, and holiday parties. For more info, it's simple. Go to strikeandspare.com.
For Dustin Timmons and Joey Donnelly, they welcome every opportunity to serve and satisfy their clients. Whether you are looking to build your dream home or renovate your current home, their team will ensure that every client and remodel is unique, luxurious, completed on time, and within budget. Contact them today to set an appointment for a free consultation or to view some of their completed projects by logging on to DonnellyTimmons.com.
This is Eric Berner with Rockcastle Wealth Advisors. I help people in the pursuit of making their money live as long as they do. People hire me because I use a customized, individualized, and personal approach for the person I'm working with. Everyone's situation is different. If you've lost a spouse or a parent and want to make sure your inheritance is utilized and does not just disappear, I can help with that. Call me at 615-235-1058 or email eric@rockcastlewealth.com.
Jody Jones Dentistry can handle all your dental needs, from the basics to cosmetic procedures. All of this in the nicest dental facility I have ever seen. Jody has done it right. They're located conveniently at 55 Music Square East, and for an appointment, it's simple. Dial 615-259-5100 and tell them Plaz sent you.
Hey, everybody. Good morning. Welcome back to Mornings on Main Street. I, of course, am your guest host, Zach Womble, on this Friday edition. I'll actually guest host all of next week as well, while Chris Yao tends to his family, his wife having a new baby. And so we want to wish them the absolute best over these next 6 business days as they bring home that new bundle of joy. Again, happy Veterans Day to all those who have served as well. On this Friday, November 11th edition of Mornings on Main Street. Weather kind of gloomy out there right now, but the rain has stopped and looks like it may have cut off for the rest of the day as cooler temperatures get ready to roll into the Nashville area. We're going to jump into a interview that we did earlier in the week with Clarksville's Stephanie Miller. So this is a segment from This Week in Clarksville with Stephanie Miller. Justin, roll that for us.
Enjoy trying to thrift shop, but I am no expert, and I'm turning to someone who has a lot of background in thrifting. I have Abby Pruitt with me today. First off, Abby, thank you so much for your time.
Thanks for having me, Stephanie.
You're welcome. You know, so many people do this for fun. Abby has actually turned her hobby into a career. You do this full time. First, give us the roundabout, overview of thrift shopping.
Yeah, so basically finding good local thrift shops in your area.
Mm-hmm.
There are some more expensive ones, and then there's cute little mom and pop ones that you can find really good stuff for cheap. There's definitely a lot that goes into it,
Mm-hmm.
but if you're really patient, it can definitely pay off if you're wanting some unique pieces that aren't, that everyone has, and you're just wanting good quality stuff. Yeah.
What does that say? Patience is a virtue. And I want to show us a video right now. I followed Abby around the other day just to kind of see her process as she's looking through items. We were at Goodwill for this. She found a couple of items there. She does, tend to turn to Goodwill and other shops regularly. But watching you, and I'm like, what do you look for? How do you know? Everything she went to pick up, I would not have thought that that's the item that you would grab.
Mm-hmm.
What do you look for? How does this work?
Yeah, so I don't really look through each piece because that takes a long time. I like to look through the entire store.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll look for fabric and color. I kind of narrow those two down. So I like more muted stuff, but a lot of people might like color, and so they might, get a bright blue, but I will kind of pass by those. That's just how I like to scour through the store. But yeah, I'll look for fabric. So I might look for a linen or a thicker knit if it's winter.
Okay.
But I love a good linen in the summer. And just the quality of the fabric.
Mm-hmm.
So I can kind of browse by, and just by literally looking, I can just pick out things. I'm like, oh, this might be cute. And I'll look at it and then decide, So I kind of just skim by everything and try to get a good, good view of, pieces. So.
Right. No, I get that. You were also looking at the label. What do you look for on a label? And this was interesting to me of how you can find good quality items, and you can kind of tell by the label.
Yeah. So on the label, you have obviously the fabric and the material. So I love to look for natural fibers that's not man-made, made of plastic or anything. So I'll look for more of cotton or 100% silk or 100% Ramie, which is a Ramie cotton.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's flax, which they're just really good, 100% all natural material. So, they're going to last, and they're not made of, plastic. So you have polyester that's I try to stay away from. Just synthetic fibers. So yeah, I'll try to stay away from those ones because they're not going to last as long, and they're more cheaply made.
And then again, go over the ones you do look for.
Yeah, so cotton, linen, flax, ramie, silk, stuff like that. Yeah, those are kind of the main ones.
Very interesting. So, and you have some samples for us that you're going to show us when it comes to texture. I wish you could be here with us here at Abby so you could feel the items, but kind of explain to us like this particular sweater.
Yeah, so like for me, if this was on a rack, if I was walking by, I probably would immediately see just from literally this little angle and notice that like, okay, that looks like a really good material. So this is a cotton, and it's a vintage piece. I actually got from a friend who has a thrift shop up in, or actually over in California. So she found this in California, but like this is one that I found, which is Flax, which is a very expensive brand. It's 100% linen, and it's made in Lithuania. And actually has really cute little sayings on it. So it says, "I am releasing everything that is best for me to let go of now." So like that's on the tag. That's so cute.
I would buy that just because of the tag. Yes, 100%.
Yeah,
this is our
really
guest star today.
Yeah.
This is Willow. This is Abby Shaw. So that, I mean, it's such a great find. And by looking at it, it looks good quality.
Yes. So yeah, the 100% linen, it's lasted over time, which is really nice about finding vintage pieces because you had someone else already buy the piece and see if it's like stood the test of time.
I love your kisses. You are so sweet.
Very
Precious
sweet.
cup. And what else? You had some jeans over there. Yes.
So a big thing right now is Levi's, which I found a pair of Levi's shorts, which I haven't posted these or anything, but they're orange tab Levi's, which is very rare. They don't make the orange tabs anymore. So it's just a older version, probably like I think it's I can't remember if it's 1980s. But these are just a really rare find. And of course, they're made of 100% cotton, and yeah, there's a good vintage find. But I was in Pennsylvania 2 weeks ago, and I found some vintage Coach purses.
Oh, stop this! Now take a look.
So I found 2 of them, which I was pumped about because
Now, what do you do to, I guess, revive them in a way?
So leather cleaner.
Okay.
So I'll probably use some leather cleaner on them, make sure they're good and intact. And this one still has the bag that it came with and everything. So.
Oh, I would love to have this. That is nice. So leather cleaner for purses. Abby was also sharing with me the products that you use when you do find items at a thrift store, how you wash them. And again, I use the word revive, but kind of bring them a fresher, cleaner look.
Yeah. So sometimes they can have that old smell. So I'm always trying to figure out how to get the smell out. So I usually use baking soda and vinegar, and we'll do a soak in them. And if there's a spot or anything on there, I'll use Shout to clean it out, and then if it says, you need to line dry it or whatever, I'll try to respect the tag, but yeah, there's not too many things, but I do have this one detergent which is expensive detergent, but it's really good and it gets the smell out. It's a Tyler Candle company called Glamour Wash. So it's like a concentrate, and I'll use that. And that one's really good.
Oh, that's really good. So, and she uses that because, again, she does have her own company, Gathered & Co., that you can follow on Instagram, and you can see some of her finds because, again, you post it all, you sell it, you put it out there. And again, the items that you find, I would probably pass up. But when I see it, when you post it, I'm like, that is beautiful. That, could work for me, whether it be a shirt, pair of pants, or even a household item that you find.
Yes, I love finding household things because that's another thing that I feel like we have too much of in the world. So it's nice to find good vintage pieces.
What do you look for in that case?
Yeah, so, I really love copper pieces. So I'll look for that. Really just anything that I feel like is classic and not really trendy.
Okay.
Like stuff that's always been around. And like I love just different styles, like more like the vintage and like Paris and like that kind of old timey look. So I'll look for stuff like that. But
shop from you anytime. I'm sure some others might be saying that. Here's a look at Gathered & Co. on Instagram. That's where you can find Abby's finds, as you will. You can find them there. I want to share one more thing before we leave Abby today. You have a superstition, and I love it because as we were going through the store, she was diligently picking things up, putting them on the hanger. Share your superstition with us.
Yeah, so if I'm shopping and I see that there's, sometimes a sleeve will be like hanging off of the hanger and it's, like all lopsided, and some people just throw it over, the rack or something, and they're not respectful. So I have to go and fix it. I don't know why, but I'm like, I have to fix it or I'm gonna have a bad thrift day. And then the poor workers are, having to fix everything.
Right.
So it's just like, if you're already there, might as well just quickly put it back on the hanger. So my superstition,
Well, I can't wait to share more from Abby in the future, to go through different seasons. Maybe we can just tag along and do some looking with you, and then as we get closer to the holidays, because I'm pretty sure you can find some great stuff for good gifts.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's the best. A thrifted Christmas gift is the best.
I love it. I love it. Is there anything else that I haven't asked that people might need to know before they start their thrift shopping, if they're looking to do that?
Yeah. So I would have a list in mind of what you're wanting, but honestly, the best part of thrift shopping is like finding the opportunities for clothing you might not have thought I needed this, or it's good to have stuff in mind, but sometimes you might find a really cool piece that you're like, I'm so thankful I picked that up.
100%.
So yeah.
Awesome. Abby, we appreciate you so much. Abby Pruitt from Gathered & Co. Again, that's on Instagram, and her dog Willow. Thank you guys for joining me today. Stick with us here. We have more coming up on This Week in Clarksville.
Christmas for Kids is back at the Ryman this November 21st. Christmas for Kids provides children with shopping sprees, coats, and unforgettable experiences every year. This annual fundraising concert helps bring that experience to more kids. This year is hosted by Phil Vassar and includes Chris Young. The frontmen, which is Richie McDonald, formerly of Lone Star, Larry Stewart of Restless Heart, Tim Rushlow, formerly of Little Texas, Essex County, and a whole lot more. Christmas for Kids, November 21st. To purchase tickets, go right now to Ryman.com.
This holiday season, the largest lantern event in the country returns to Nashville Zoo. After sunset, come see more than 1,000 Chinese lanterns. All new designs, including mythical beasts, a fantastical North Pole village, even a dragon soaring over your head. Welcome back to Zoo Illumination at Nashville Zoo. Bigger, brighter, and better than ever.
Welcome back, everybody. Mornings on Main Street, Friday, November 11th. Happy Veterans Day. As you look live at downtown Nashville, you see it right there, Bridgestone Arena, one of the best arenas in all of the country. Of course, home to our very own Nashville Predators. As you see some tourists walking up and down the wet streets of Broadway. We got about 5 minutes left on today's episode, and wanted to do a little fun with Justin here. If you remember the last couple times I hosted Mornings on Main Street, we had a lot of fun doing celebrity birthdays in this day in entertainment. So Justin, if you're cool with it, I'd like to end today's show with those two things.
Let's do it, man. It's been a while since I played, so but I'm assuming it's like riding a bike, and I kill it.
There you go.
I ride a bike.
There you go. There weren't a lot of celebrity birthdays today that I knew. A lot of TikTok stars, a lot of YouTube stars, and so I may be technically a millennial. I still sometimes feel like maybe my mentality falls in the boomer area. So like, I don't really know who a lot of these people are.
Right.
But I was able to pick out a few that I recognize. So let's jump right off the top with one of the more famous actors in all of the land. Of course, we're talking about Leonardo DiCaprio,
Leo,
who celebrates his birthday today. Of course, he is. I mean, you could have a whole show on all the good movies that he has done. But if you had a guess on his age today, Justin, on this November 11th, 2022 date, what would you guess is his birthday?
You know, I've had, and this is true, one person in my whole life tell me that I look like him.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't like bring him in to verify. But anyways, I think that my boy Leo's 48 today.
Your boy Leo is 48
Is
today.
he really?
Yeah, he is. He is. Your boy is 48 today. So maybe it's the telekinesis that has passed between
Because
you
we're
and
twins, yeah.
that you passed.
That's so funny.
I mean, I thought I was sitting here with Leo the entire time.
Right.
It was.
You're like, you're upset that I'm not.
Yeah, I am. I'm kind of surprised. Like, why didn't you tell me this?
Changes everything.
Let's go a little bit. Well, I mean, Leo's current, so you can't really say that. But Vinny from the Jersey Shore. I won't pretend like I can pronounce his last name. But the fist pump king himself, Vinny from the Jersey Shore. Do you know how old he is today?
The boy Vin. I'm gonna go 33.
34.
Oh my God, I'm killing it.
2-0. You're 2 for 2. 2 for 2. What about actress Demi Moore? Do you know who Demi Moore is?
Sounds familiar. Wasn't she in like
G.I. Jane? She was married to Ashton Kutcher. I'm also drawing a blank on other films that she's been in. I know she's been in a ton. I just can't think at this moment.
I'm pretty sure Britney Spears wrote a song. Demi Moore.
Demi Moore. She's a little older.
Just kidding.
She's a little older.
Okay.
I wish I could give you better examples of movies that she starred in, and I'm sure I'll think of it as soon as we move on to the next one.
I got you. No, I've definitely heard her name before. I'm gonna go.
She's older.
Yeah, 41. Older than that.
59.
59.
Yeah. So she looks great though. Like if you
I
were
was
to
about
look,
to say, it sounds like
if you were to look at a picture of her, if you pulled her up, you would say, "Wow, she does not look almost 60." Moving down the list, Stanley Tucci. Stanley Tucci starred in Percy Jackson, Sea of Monsters. He was also in Transformers, Age of Extinction. Also in The Hunger Games.
Do you know which character he played in?
He was the bald guy.
Bald guy. Oh, like the agent guy.
Yeah, white bald guy.
White bald guy. Okay, I'm gonna go.
So that really narrows it down.
Yeah,
that really narrows it down.
Woody Harrelson. No, I'm gonna go 59.
61. 61.
That's
right.
a hit.
That's a hit. So 3 out of 4. Rapid fire here. Football standout for the New York Giants, Victor Cruz. He's retired. He's retired now.
He does this when
he does the salsa or the shimmy or whatever it's called.
I'm gonna go 39.
36.
Oh, I did 39 last time. I'm starting to get lazy.
It's okay. Another football star. Mainly for the butt fumble, but Mark Sanchez.
You know that Rex Ryan has a tattoo of Mark Sanchez on his calf?
I did not know that.
Isn't that weird?
That's weird.
That's so strange. Mark Sanchez is 44.
36.
Oh.
Hey, not too bad. Not too bad today, though, Justin. And we're going to end it with a couple this day in entertainment. 2 movies that were released on this day. There were a lot, but 2 that stood out to me. One with Tim Allen. Do you know which movie it was?
Santa Claus.
That's right, the Santa Claus. And then the last one released on this date in 2011 with Adam Sandler. Kind of a quirky movie.
In 2011?
In 2011.
Ooh, I don't know. It was Grown Ups, maybe?
Jack and Jill.
Oh, that
Jack
movie
and Jill
sucks.
That movie was not great. But that will do it. That will do it for this day's episode of Morning on Main Street. We hope you have a great weekend this weekend. If you've got time tomorrow, head on down to Nashville to participate in the Nashville's Half Marathon, even if it's just to pass out cups of water. I am your guest host for the next 6 business days. I'm Zach Womble. He's Justin Kulik. Hope you have a great weekend, and we will see you on Monday.
See y'all.